You know, when I started making videos, it was to be like a creative hobby. I could make art, I could write scripts, and I could do the music for the videos. And it was kind of like a creative outlet because I love creativity and I love imagination, and I also love video games as well. So I thought that I could tie them all together and sort of just make videos because I also like the DIY aspect of YouTube, but like the fact that you can just do your fucking thing. But I did think like, no, I will stay away. I'll stay away and stay sort of neutral as much as I can. I just do reviews. I don't want to wade into the fucking kind of like, for want of a better word, the culture war. It's not worth getting all sweaty about the latest outrage in gaming. So I'll just stick to playing and reviewing games and practice making videos. All nice and relaxing. But recently it's been like the Summer Games Fest, the Xbox Game Expo, where we just get to watch all fucking advert after advert, the whole kind of consumerist bullshit that it is. And I watched, like, I'm aware of the kind of controversy around the new Fable game. People got shit in their pants over it, and I'm not going to get involved. But then I did watch the latest second sort of trailer that came out, the one with Super Hands doing his shit.
Exactly.
And so afterwards, though, I decided to go back to have a second look. I wanted to watch it again and sort of like take it in. Now, I think I played Fable 2. I didn't play Fable, the original Fable, but I had Fable 2, I think, on the Xbox 360, or was it just the Xbox? I don't know. No, Xbox 360. And so I've played one of the games, so I'm aware of it. I enjoyed it. So I went back to have a look on YouTube. And when I did go and have a look on YouTube, I made the mistake of looking in the comments. But seriously, what is wrong with all you tiny-minded, misogynistic little goblin dickheads crying and shitting and pissing about everything? No, I mean it. Are you all fucking children? I mean, probably the majority of you are, but come on, really? Really? Jesus fucking Christ. I've never seen a bigger demonstration of fragile little chodes than this. No, don't go. Don't click off the video. I'm going to say loads of things that will probably piss you off. So make sure you stick around, and you can put something unhinged in the comments below. So that's what the internet's for, though, these days, isn't it? It's just for like raging on something that pisses you off. I know that's what my fucking Instagram feed is, just full of rage bait. I didn't really want to court controversy. I mean, the likelihood is that not many people are even going to see this, so I am sort of like an old man yelling at the clouds over here. But I thought, when I did foolishly decide to have a little look at the YouTube comments for the new trailer of Fable, I wasn't shocked, because, to be totally honest, I ain't shocked by anything on the internet anymore. But it was definitely a straw that kind of broke the camel's back moment. A throwing up of my hands and saying fuck it. Fuck these weird, insecure dudes and the weird, insecure horses they rode in on. So fuck it, I'm going to have a bit of a moan. Yeah, so I already knew people were crying and pissing their pants about the main character, or the character that everyone is assuming you will play as from the previous trailer, but I hadn't really bothered to check for myself, and I knew it was going to be fucking depressing. And it was. So comment after comment asking for
character creator, please.
Or,
oh, this looks like a man. Or why do we have to play as an ugly woman?
Also, did you know that women are political now? Did you? Must be part of the whole woke thing. I knew that non-binary or queer characters were woke, and also black people or people of colour, don't forget those. But now women are woke too. Women. Or rather, the inclusion of women. Strange that they aren't woke when their big fat asses are swinging around in front of them on the screen. But if it's a woman who isn't at stupidly high beauty standards that you seem to have convinced yourself everyone should be in your little weird edgelord internet hug box, you all start to lose your fucking shit. Apparently the Fable lady is ugly, even though she looks quite normal. I would say even quite good looking by just general fucking standards if you just walk down the street. She's in shape and she looks absolutely fine. It wasn't just Fable they was moaning about. They've also been moaning about calling the new character from the new Star Wars game a man because they thought her jaw was a little bit big. Now, do you people literally live in the real fucking world? What is it with the internet and trying to measure the size of people's skulls or some fucking weird eugenicsy transvestigated shit rotting your brain as you draw lines all over people and talk about breaking frames or whatever? I looked at about 4 different videos with the same trailer from like IGN and Xbox and GameSpot and stuff, and the same thing over and over.
Oh, I hope you can play as a man or create your own character because she is ugly.
The comments where they just go straight in on, oh, she is ugly or she is a man, there is no point engaging with. You people are dumb cunts with tiny, teeny little teenage boy brains. Jog the fuck on. Other people making arguments that we shouldn't have to look at an ugly woman. Again, not ugly, just normal. And that games are supposed to be escapism. They say this as though this is an excuse for why we don't need to have an ugly character because it's a work of fantasy, etc. And so this seems to be in opposition to other comments who want to play as a man because it's good for immersion and role playing. So, like for me to play as a character that looks like me. So which is it? Do you want it to be fucking real and be immersive, or do you want it to be fucking fantastical and escapism and like not real? Yeah, people do want to see themselves in game, and I often try to make characters that look like me, and sometimes I don't, and I play as a female character, but I have definitely made characters that look like me. So why shouldn't protagonists look like normal people? When you demand pretty ladies with ridiculous figures and whatnot, you are just being a cuck to this callous consumerist society that continually peddles unrealistic beauty standards to both women and men, and making everyone just feel sad and depressed about themselves because they can't achieve the image of perfection that they are blasted with on billboards and adverts. Some mega brains are probably all up in the comments arguing, but I know attractive people in real life, or I have seen beautiful people when I'm out. And yes, congratulations, you are correct, they do exist. But I challenge you to get your fucking clipboard out and go and do a survey. I think you will find that the vast majority of people do not conform to those standards. Nor do I think that the many accounts posting these comments are all fucking hot chads. If you have been duped into thinking that you should measure success or beauty purely on aesthetics, then you are as shallow as a puddle of spit on the floor. There is such a thing as personality, and also you may want to protest it and whine that I am wrong, but beauty, just as with pretty much most things, is subjective. Music, art, it is all subjective. Some people like Taylor Swift, other people like grindcore. I think one of the most eye-opening things for me personally was when I went to a Locust gig and I watched the support acts just make a droning noise and feedback for like 45 minutes, and then they played the rest of the 25 songs in their set in the next 5 minutes. And people fucking loved it. I looked around and there were people cheering, and I think at that moment I got it. I really got the point of like, one man's treasure is, another man's shit and vice versa. Also, in a more cruder example, look at sex. Some people like to just have straight vanilla sex, and other people like to shit on each other and smear it all over their faces. To each their own. But perhaps the reason for making normal looking or even slightly goofy looking characters is supposed to fit the tone that they are going for. Perhaps the developers have a vision, and perhaps the sexy big boob lady is not part of that vision. Besides, do you need to be hunched over like a dirty little troll in your goon cave cranking it while you're playing a game? You know that there's the internet exists. You don't need video games for that shit. Well, unless you're in that weird bit of Steam and that's your kind of thing, in which case you go for it. But you don't need to be jacking it while you're playing Fable. Also, there are a few people that seem very hung up on the fact that the character is uglier than the real woman who provided the face model. I mean, doesn't that tell you that however they made her look was a stylistic choice and therefore part of an overall vision? I started playing the original Fable. It is a whimsical, humorous fantasy game. Like, why do you want sexy characters? Like, it's got like a fucking Pratchett vibe. Like, it just feels confusing if you just want to fucking crank it all the time to like what feels like a bit of a child's game in some ways. I just don't see it myself. The game is goofy as fuck. And another common refrain that I kind of see in these comments along the lines of like, well, if the game is this or that, then we won't buy it. I think I saw a comment saying something that added up to, and I am paraphrasing here, you'll be sorry as I won't spend my money on this game. Like you have any fucking power. I mean, sure, if you all didn't buy the game, and not just you all, but all of us didn't buy the game, then yeah, sure, you'd hurt the devs and their revenue. Or rather, not the devs, fucking company. Well, you would hurt the devs because they just fucking probably lay them all off like they do everyone else these days. And I see a lot of other comments saying that this game is going to flop on arrival. Well, I have news for you, Sonny Jimbos. I think that what you've done is convince yourself that you are the majority, where in fact you aren't. You're the minority, and more to the point, you are the annoying loudmouth minority who feels it necessary to comment on a YouTube video or post on Twitter as if anyone gives a fuck about your opinion because you are a very special little snowflake. You think that everyone is like you because you exist in certain spaces where only you and other goblin friends say the same things to each other, and so you see other little cunts just like you saying the same things over and over. But in reality, there are the people that are fighting against you in the comments, and they are in there telling you how fucking ridiculous you are. There are also the people that just exist in the world who don't really have strong opinions either way, or they're the people that don't even go on the internet, that will just go into the shop or go and buy the game maybe, or just download it and don't interact in the same sort of way. There is way more people than there is you and your little fucking goblin friends. You are the minority, and you've fooled yourself into thinking that you are the majority in your little online safe spaces where everyone just thinks the same thing. So sure, there may be almost like 400k followers on Steam's Sweet Baby Ink Detective group, or thousands more of you all watching an Asmongold stream, but you know that humanity is bigger, like way bigger than that. I know these are big numbers, and you might think, oh my god, there's so many of us, but like, fucking just normal people outnumber you to a crazy degree, which like leads me on to talking about another theme that sort of ties into everything. There's a common phrase or sort of refrain that I hear amongst like what I'll class as like toxic gamers, and not just for Fable but games in general, which is that people kind of seem to keep going on about like that people are changing your games. Like, in the words of that lady from fucking Star Trek Picard,
sheer fucking hubris.
Seriously, are you all high sniffing your own Mountain Dew flavoured farts? How fucking dare you? Your games? Games are for everyone, and more to the point, if you are crying about game companies changing things in your games, then you might want to think about who in fact is making these changes. It isn't women, or the woke, or trans people, big up the trans community, trans rights are human rights, or any other group of people that you have decided that you don't like. It is companies, video game companies. And more to the point, driven by my old enemy, capitalism. If games companies are putting things in games that you don't like, it is because it has been focus tested up the fucking wazoo, and they have made the decision that that will sell more games. Because they want money, all of the money, and they have decided that you are acceptable losses to their revenue. So take your money somewhere else, because they've probably already factored that into their projections. Now adding to that, times and trends, well, they just change. One day you're hip and you're with it, and the next day you are not, and the world moves on. But there you are, all still desperately swimming upstream against the tide. And if Fable is truly your game, i.e. from an era when you were growing up, when you were young, then that puts you closer to my age. And if that's the case, then you really are truly pathetic, and you should know better by now. Fucking shame. Look, I love Black Sails era AFI and not whatever they are now, but that's life. It isn't wrong, it just moves along. So once again, how fucking selfish to just want to make everything how you want it to be. But going back to like companies and how they behave, are these actions cynical and forced in many cases? Oh, you're damn right. And this might be something we agree on. Like when Pride Month rolls around, it is forced and it is inauthentic. Because they don't really care about the LGBTQIA plus community. They care about what will play well with the general public because again, it's all about the money with these people. Sure, there'll be people within the company who want to support causes, but the company cares about only one thing. But that should also tell you that a majority of the people do actually support these causes and either want to see them in their games or just don't have any strong opinions either way. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't be doing it, would they? And I wish they wouldn't do Pride the way they do. All cynical and that, tainted by the grubby little hands of capitalism. Because whether you think companies are shoving it down your throat, that doesn't mean that marginalised people still don't need visibility and support. So if you want this shit to go away, try being normal and like helping to foster acceptance, and then maybe it wouldn't be such a big thing. I mean, do you really think that like gays are running everything? Or like when everyone thinks like the left controls all the media and stuff, when like most governments in the West aren't even remotely left wing and the left haven't been nowhere near fucking power, and the majority of all the newslets are right wing and run by fucking demonic ghouls like this fucking cunt. Also, why do you think companies employ people like Sweet Baby Inc. to do consulting on stuff? The same reason as I just stated, it's all about money and capitalism. Well, maybe you're right and Big Gay forced them to do it all. I just want to have a little look through this Steam group I found whilst googling around for stuff in this video. It feels a little unfair because it's obviously operated by fucking children with head trauma, but some of the shit it says is wild. But sadly, there are still over 6,000 people in there, so let's have a little look. The game has so many DEI themed characters on the roster and their pronouns are listed on the character select screen. I do like this. Kratos became weak and more emotional as they tried to blend the line between men and women. They also race swapped a Norse character called Angrboda, and Thor is fat. Thor is fat. I'm sure a lot of these dipshits that are fucking crying about woke shit ain't fat. They're all fucking handsome chads, I'm sure. But like God of War, Ragnarok, or the remake, Kratos is very effeminate in those games, isn't he? Really, really girly. What a girly man. Race swapped the Greek gods and made one of them fat and in a wheelchair. I mean, maybe this is just like a parody. Like this is like a satire. Maybe this is just satire. Some comedian is doing this. Some woke comedian. Oh, here we go. Medieval game with pronouns. So anything that's out of time, how they perceive it, is woke or bad. So in a lot of those comments, people like basically saying that video games for escapism. They're not real. They're fantasy. But oh no, if you try and put a black person or fucking pronouns in the fantasy game that's made up for people to enjoy, then that is also woke and stupid and gay. Just like some guy I watched like complaining that Skull and Bones had women as pirates. It's like, yeah, of course they do, you fucking prick. They've got them because women want to play as a pirate. It's a fantasy fucking game. It's an escape, as you fucking said. They always have a problem with body types, or body type A or type B has political genders confirmed by developers. I mean, people are allowed to make political games. People do not need to make every game just for fucking you. Now this is cool. I noticed this one coming up. Has political flags in games. Political. So what do you think political means? Is it fucking the Labour Party or the Conservatives? No, political is the pride flag. So gay is political. But I tell you what, there's the big gay party. Sign me the fuck up. I've played Iconoclast, but the game takes a very strong stance against religion, with the main villains of the game being leaders of a cult with obvious Christian influence ruling over a dystopian society with an iron fist. Well, that sounds bad. This one has feminist agendas because, you know. Devs asked if the fans should implement physics for female characters. Feminists criticised them and they coped and apologised. Why did they cope? How is that coping? Surely coping is if like they did someone did the opposite and then you had to deal with that fucking decision. So you're coping. That's like fucking, I don't know, Jeremy Corbyn losing in 2017 and me having to fucking cope because they lost. So, and also they say feminist, but just the player base. absolutely no fucking way of knowing they're feminists, but of course these fucking little clowns are so scared of feminism. No, you got their recommended games though. You play as a Chad alpha male super soldiers fighting aliens to save the world like in Hollywood action films from the 80s and 90s, the good old days. What else do you want? Now, the thing about that, right, is that if you're saying the 80s and the 90s are the good old days, either you're like some youngster looking back on my fucking generation and saying, oh, those are the good old days for times you never lived through, or you lived through them, which means you are closer to my age. And if that is the case, this makes this like on a fucking turbo pathetic level that you like grow the fuck up, child. They love historically accurate shorthand for there were no black people. They also love to like go on about, oh, they changed the fucking wording from the original Japanese one, which you do realise that they change lots of things for its local audience of where it's going to be sold. You fucking drink Fanta in America, England and mainland Europe, and you look at the fucking difference of them. They're not all the same. They have different rules of what can actually be put in the drink, but also they adjust them for fucking taste. Mainland Europe is a sophisticated Fanta Lemon. Over here it's just sort of midway. In America it's like nuclear rocket fuel, full of fucking E numbers. I love this, I love a very good sort of thoughtful explanation of forced multiple woke stuff. Lovely woke stuff. You should tell me what it is, because then I could like go and play it. I mean, actually this whole list is great for anyone like me that wants to know where the fucking woke stuff is, so you're doing me a real service here. Have political flags given away as free content. Pride flags. Again, that big gay political party that I'm going to join as soon as I find it. Portraying Japan as a multicultural and diverse country. Characters have no gender, but have a slider to adjust their femininity and masculinity instead, so they only have one adjustable gender. I mean, this is a good one. You play as weirdos wearing flu masks and fight against Christians and other conservative people who oppose them. Okay, cool. Like, well, we've got a bit of fucking vaccine COVID denial in here as well. Very cool. Very cool. Let's deny science as well as just everything else around us. And we can all live in our little safe space where we can all like cry and piss our panties about woke. Blizzard staffs will ban you if you don't use pronouns they, them for the character venture. So again, like, people like do this shit all the time. It's not because you've done it once, it's because you'll do something and you'll be told not to do it and you won't fucking learn and you'll keep doing it again and again and again. So it's not about the fact that you've explicitly misgendered them, it's about the fact that someone will tell you what the rules are and you won't follow them. So you're just breaking the rules, and that's why they'll kick you. South of Midnight, Sweet Baby Inc. forced the developers to race swap the protagonist. I'm pretty sure that Sweet Baby Inc. ain't telling no one telling no one any decisions that the company who's fucking paying the money, who owns it all, don't want to do themselves. If they pay them to advise them and then they make that choice, it's still their fucking choice. You guys are really like fucking demented about how much power you think one fucking company has. Also, there's loads of fucking companies that are just trying to make hay, again, that's fucking capitalism for you, out of woke stuff. I think woke is good because I see it in a certain way. Other people are just trying to prey on it. So they set companies up and say, oh, let me come into your company and you can pay me to teach people about how you should treat people or whatever. Everyone's getting their pound of fucking flesh, and Sweet Baby Inc. probably ain't no fucking different. But there's no point in me having an argument with anyone who believes in that sort of stuff, of the virtues of why you actually do need to have cultural sort of advisors or sensitivity advisors for different things. But to do that, you would have to sort of accept and sort of see other people, minorities, and the importance of doing so, which you're just not going to fucking do, so there's no fucking point. This fucking list proves that much. The game makes you choose pronouns, body type, has pronouns in character. This is fucking classic. There is a guy knitting in the trailer below. Knitting is woke now. Okay, do you understand that? Knitting is woke. I mean, like, it's just like, what isn't woke? What isn't woke anymore, you know? Everything is woke. Ratchet and Clank has a fucking political agenda, which I cannot even be bothered to fucking find out what that is, but Jesus Christ. Has pronouns, yes, pronouns. You people are so fucking scared shitless of fucking pronouns. I do notice that as we get into certain things, it's informational. So I take this and well, by all means tell me if I'm wrong, but I take this as I actually like this game, but it has something in it that I don't like, and so I'm honor bound to point that out. Because in other games, the same sort of things would probably, preclude them from playing it because it's too woke. So there's another recommended one, a based game featuring a character creation that let you create hot women instead of usual ugly female protagonists in modern AAA games. So I suppose they say modern AAA games, and again, making assumptions that it's a dude, but I've probably waffled on now for fucking ages in the script about how these women that these people are saying are ugly, they're not fucking ugly. As my dear old dead nan would have said, what's wrong with them? They got shit in their eyes. Political flag and message again. Bloons TD6. Jesus Christ. Battletech, not recommended. Oh, pronouns. You can't create your character to have blonde hair. Not having blonde hair is woke. I mean, I don't know if we extrapolate out there. Why do you need to have blonde hair? Is that an Aryan thing? Are you upset that you can't be more fucking Nazi or something? Not that we want to throw the word Nazi around because everyone cries about that as well. But you know what I mean? Do you see what I'm going for there? Has political graffiti on buildings in game. Oh, again, a pride flag. Oh, this game is full of woke propagandas. Anita Sarkeesian is the game's credits as cultural consultant. Well, then it's a woke fucking game, and it's not for you. I don't even know why you're adding it in here, because any of you cunts who don't want to play this, you ain't gonna play it. You should put the games in like these ones where it looks like you might want to play it, but apparently it's woke. So yeah, so see here, I really wanted to play Dragon's Dogma, and I'm gonna play it, but I'm gonna put it with a little label on it saying there is some woke stuff in it. The game doesn't let you create your character to be shorter than 160 centimeters. The average height for Japanese women is 154.1 centimeters. God, like fucking measurements and shit. It's a bit weird. This is likely to prevent people from creating young characters. Oh, okay. Why do you fucking think that is? I'm not saying, and I don't believe that a lot of the people that cry and bitch and moan about all this shit are like that, but it has cropped up a few little times in some sort of comments and sort of online debate, seemingly this idea of remarkably close to weird pedophile shit. Shadows of Doubt. In this game you play as a detective, but the devs put some political agendas to the game that kind of break the gameplay. Read the topic below for more information. I'll pass, thank you, but it's probably that they put a pride flag in it or someone is non-binary or whatever. Now, this is kind of mad. So, again, look, informational. Can't not play Modern Warfare. Can't not play the political game about fucking shooting people, killing people. Can't not play that. So we're just going to put a little label on it, and I'm not happy about it, but I'll still play it. But I'm sad because they put a pride flag in it, but I'm still going to play it. Where's your fucking principles? Or is it just the games that you don't want to play, you're happy to not recommend them? But Modern Warfare, that's too big. We like Modern Warfare and Call of Duty. Jesus Christ. You've got it all fucking arse backwards about this shit. All of you. I just it's so insanely pathetic that pronouns is just such a fucking thing. Pronouns are basically the least you can fucking do to just show some general respect to just people. And if you just interact with them, you then learn that they're not really that big a problem. You can meet at least a few characters with modern day features, self-identity and partner preference. So modern day features, so in fucking the fantasy space world, no non-binary people are allowed, or gay or something. Oh, you can have a pride flag on your car. Oh look, the Joker is woke. Woke game filled with agendas like feminism and political flags. They also remove negative reviews from the users to hide the fact that people dislike the game. Again, just because a load of you fucking goblins mobilise to go and fucking cry about it. And think about this. People who just like the game or don't have too much of an opinion will not do it. It's only going to be fucking little cretins like you people that are going to fucking go and feel the need to put a fucking thumb it down and put a fucking comment on it. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, as we're getting down here, well, Power World. The game uses the term type instead of gender, but that's not enough to get it informational because they probably like Power World in the character creation menu. Otherwise, the game is woke free. I mean, it's a made up weird thing with like little kind of weird Pokemon and stuff. There's also, I don't know where it is, but there's ones where they talk about like, mention fan service a lot. Fan service. Like, does that just mean, oh, they'll do what they have done what I want them to do? And look, Baldur's Gate is just way too good, so they couldn't fucking not recommend it. But it's got pronouns and other woke stuff. Again, it's that woke stuff. What is the stuff? I want to know what the woke stuff is. A lot of games down there with informational. I mean, based upon the logic of everything, should I not be avoiding these if they have pronouns and stuff? You can Asian-style nightcrawl into women's bedrooms and have fun with them, plus a lot of other erotic content. Surprisingly, the game is uncensored despite being published by Ghostlight. Okay, I mean, you can go and sleep with a hooker in GTA. What's the like? They talk like, I love how they talk about as if none of this fucking exists anyway. Like you can't do anything or make games or whatever. The game is full of fan service. I don't know what fan service means. Does that just mean if they make a big titty, pretty girl for the main character or all characters, then that's fan service? What? I don't even care to fucking really define it because we've got a lot of informational ones down here. I mean, oh, here we go. Oh, they're also upset when you can't look up a fucking video game character's skirt. Just fucking go to Pornhub or something. Just whack it to something else. Like, seriously. Everything is political. It's all just like fucking... Oh, Jesus Christ. Do you realise what a fucking child you sound like when you say they keep all the girls in their sexy outfits? This sounds like a teenage boy. Like, I mean, probably fucking is a teenage boy, other than the fact that they might actually be close to my age. We don't know. Maybe it's a team of people, of teenage boys and sad old men. But honestly, I just... Informational. It's just too good a game though for them to like not play it. Like, what is this fucking shit? What is this stupid shit? I feel like I am now stupider for having looked at this fucking shit. I hope you're all very happy with your little list. Jesus fucking... Oh, Jesus Christ. I think that might have been the most intense version of what I'm referring to, but do you see how stupid this shit is? Again, it's like literal child brain thinking. Like, I know I've been quite angry and sweary in this video, and perhaps I should try and reach out to my fellow man and build across the divide, but quite frankly, you don't fucking deserve it. Your complaints aren't real complaints. They are childish and unrealistic. I feel like loads of you would like to accuse other people of like not living in the real world, and I would implore you to do the same. You are the ones ignoring reality. Look around. Look outside of your box. You may not like it, but other people exist, and those people may not be like you. And don't be fucking selfish. Games are for everyone, and everyone deserves to experience them. And I saw a stat online that said something like 45% or 48% of girls polled consider themselves gamers. That is like almost half. That's like Brexit levels of narrowly divided, and we all know how that turned out. So, women and others have just as much of a stake in video games as anyone else. There is the famous line about equality feels like oppression to the privileged, or something like that, and certain sections of society have had it mainly their own way for a long time, and now shit is changing, and you just don't like it. Women and minorities have always played these types of games, and now they're getting their representation. I bet if you get that clipboard out again, for all your crying, there'll still be more straight white male protagonists in general than minority characters. You can fucking mark that one off your outrage bingo card as well. And if you don't want to see it from someone else's perspective, then that's your choice. But the Overton window is shifting, and no matter how much the right attacks and makes people's lives difficult, the genie is out of the bottle and we are moving towards more acceptance. You will not win. So it is just about how many people are you going to hurt needlessly along the way to that acceptance? And you are, of course, entitled to your opinion, and clearly no one is stopping that, judging by the amount of fucking weird shit you people are churning out onto the internet. But that also means that people can find your opinions weird and detestable. Maybe we should like take our foot off the online gas pedal a little bit, because those of us who are like terminally online, we're not the norm. The internet is a place where we should probably dial down everything that anyone says by a couple of notches, because we're not really getting the real person, just the character that we all kind of play when we get behind that keyboard. We shouldn't be using social media as a barometer of society, as most people aren't down in the digital trenches fighting in the Twitter war or whatever. They are just normal people who check in from time to time and just go about their fucking lives. If you're someone who feels the need to lend your opinion to internet drama and actually post their feelings about it on threads and comment sections, then you aren't normal. You're abnormal. Just like this guy who felt it necessary to make a fucking video about it. Look, that's my rant over, and you're free to fucking disagree with me in the comments or whatever you want. But like, I'm just fed up with this stupid, dumb shit. So just one more thing.
Before you go, I just wanna tell